The year 2025 is a landmark year for India-US space cooperation. In the coming months, two high-profile India-US space missions are to be accomplished. One of them is the NASA-ISRO satellite that will map the Earth in the highest resolution. The other mission will launch an Indian astronaut to the International Space Station. We are talking about Indian astronaut Shubhanshu Shukla and his flight to the International Space Station. Shukla is set to create history as the first Indian astronaut to travel to the International Space Station aboard a SpaceX Dragon spacecraft later this year. He will pilot the Axiom-4. The mission is part of a joint effort between NASA and the Indian Space Research Organization, the US Space Agency announced on Thursday. In the year 2018, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced India's first ever human space flight program, Gaganyaan, led by the Indian Space Agency ISRO. It's meant to ferry Indian astronauts to space and bring them back safely. While India has been launching satellites to space for more than 3 decades, performing astronaut missions are exponentially sophisticated. Astronaut missions are the pinnacle of spaceflight, while ISRO has been working on the technology and rocketry front. In fact, India's astronaut candidates were chosen from a pool of Indian Air Force test pilots. The chosen candidates were fighter pilots. They underwent their first leg of training in the Yuri Gagarin Cosmonaut Training Center near Moscow. In 2023, during Prime Minister Modi's state visit to the US, then US President Joe Biden made a huge announcement. He said that the US would train Indian astronauts to fly to the International Space Station. In August 2024, two Indian astronaut candidates, Group Captains Shubhanshu Shukla and Prashant Balakrishnan Nair, commenced their training in the US. Shukla is the primary astronaut candidate, while Nair is the backup. And both of them are training for the US-led mission to the International Space Station, known as Axiom-4. The mission is facilitated by American firm Axiom Space. The 4 astronauts flying on this mission are Peggy Whitson, former NASA astronaut and director of human spaceflight at Axiom Space. She will command the Axiom-4 mission. ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization astronaut Shubhanshu Shukla will serve as the pilot. The 2 mission specialists are European Space Agency project astronaut Stawos Yuznanski-Wisniewski of Poland and Tibor Kapu of Hungary. The crew have been preparing to go on a 2-week trip to the International Space Station. This mission is to be carried out by mid-2025. While Axiom is the facilitator of this flight, the Falcon 9 rocket and the Crew Dragon spacecraft will be provided by Elon Musk's SpaceX. Our principal correspondent, Siddharth MP, explaining how the US-led mission will help India's Gaganyaan program.
This Axiom-4 mission is meant to serve as a precursor for India's Gaganyaan program, where India wants to execute human spaceflight using ISRO, using its completely homegrown technology such as rockets, spacecrafts and much more related technologies. Effectively, Axiom-4 will be more like a training mission for an Indian astronaut before India attempts this completely on its own. From Chennai, Siddharth MP, WION World is One.